thrill of blasting down a straight at one of the world's most famous racetracks is something that many people wish they could experience. Add a motorcycle into the mix and the idea, for many, becomes more appealing. This need for speed is what drives the simulator market, and yet motorcycle simulators are a somewhat niche gaming category. That may be the result of the fact that so few developers have managed to capture the spirit of riding a bike effectively. With MotoGP 13, milestones come close, but this franchise has a long way to go before it gets the kind of praise that some of the car driving simulators available to gamers get. MotoGP 13 allows the player to jump into a fast-paced motorcycle racing simulation or to take on a career as an aspirant master of two-wheeled speed. By giving the player a wide variety of options, including 3 classes of motorcycle racing, MotoGP becomes a very accessible title. With 250, 600 and of course 1000cc racing options, the difficulty curve develops well through the game. Add a high degree of difficulty customization to the affair and it becomes a bike sim that enthusiasts of all skill levels can enjoy. What lets the whole package down are the graphics. The MotoGP sections aren't too bad, but the Moto3 and Moto2 classes seem to have been given less visual love. The game overall lacks polish in the looks department, with bikes that don't look like they belong on the lackluster under-detailed tracks. The impression of speed is equally disappointing. It simply doesn't feel like you're going at the pace indicated by the speedometer. Additionally, the sound effects don't sound fantastic either. Once again, the smaller classes suffer here. But truth be told, the overall presentation of the game, from graphics through to menus, is uninspiring. What Milestone did get right, or perhaps more accurately what they improved on, are the physics in the game. While they may not be truly apparent in the easiest difficulty settings, the physics do offer the player a challenge in terms of controlling the bike correctly. When driving assists are turned off, the game becomes much more difficult, as it should. Handling a motorcycle at high speeds needs a great many things to be taken into consideration, and the player will need to be on their toes, just like a real-life rider would. Additionally, little features like correct head tilting in first-person view modes make the game feel much more authentic than previous motorcycle simulators. MotoGP 13 delivers where it counts for purists, with a game dynamic that mimics the real thing very closely. If you're a big fan of motorcycle racing, you'll probably get a massive kick out of digging into the tiny details and playing through every full track session of every event that makes up the game's lengthy career. There is also no limit to how long that career is. The player can simply keep going for as long as they want. But this kind of dedication to the game will only come from those that are true enthusiasts, who like the challenge of playing the game in full simulation modes and enjoy the idea of tweaking everything to perfection. Those that just want to get a few exciting motorcycle races in may find that MotoGP 13 is a little too pedantic for them. How long you'll be playing it depends on which category you fall into. It is not a thrill-a-minute kind of game. Rather, it is a simulation that explores the detailed art and science of motorcycle racing. This means that MotoGP 13 is a niche game in almost every sense. It is not action-packed, and the lack of flashy presentation may leave all but the most ardent fans of motorcycle racing cold. This is a game meant for fans and enthusiasts, and as such, it does a good job in recreating the real thing. That recreation is just about as realistic as we have seen to this point. That makes MotoGP a very enjoyable simulator, but not necessarily exciting for those that don't want the nuts and bolts detail it requires to play properly.